We got bigger things to talk about than Joan Cusamano's ass.
We've got bigger things to talk about than Joan Cusamano's ass. Like that recommendation letter that Carmela wants from Joan Cusamano. In Season 2, Episode 8, Full Leather Jacket, Meadow's anxious about hearing from the various colleges that she's applied to, and one of her top choices is Georgetown University. It just so happens that the Soprano family's next-door neighbors are Dr. Bruce and Joan Cusamano. Jean has a twin sister named Joan. She's an officer of the court, or lawyer, and she happens to be a Georgetown law alum, but not just any alum.
No, didn't she go to Georgetown? Georgetown Law Review, Regional Secretary of the Georgetown Alumni Association of Short Hills.
So Carmela decides to ask Jeannie to ask Joan to write a recommendation letter for Meadow to Georgetown.
Is that too forward? Well, but she doesn't really know Meadow. But you do.
You understand, these people that I might know, they don't know you.
I'll ask her.
And we see that she does actually ask Joan, but no luck.
The gangster's wife? Bring gangsters onto the Georgetown campus? I don't think so. What, are you frightened? What do you think they're gonna do? Put you in cement boots over a college application?
The reason why I'm including a couple of clips from other episodes is to illustrate this parallel world where we observe these similar civilian scenarios that Carmela puts herself in to exercise her own muscle, if you will.
I have a reputation to protect. Listen, Carmela, I spoke to my sister about the letter for Meadow, and she's sorry, but she just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Carmela's not taking no for an answer, though.
Can't send to what, Mom?
It's nothing.
So Carmela shows up unannounced at Joan's office.
Regard pie with pineapples.
Joan's still not agreeing.
Or, Fielder, is it?
Meadow.
Oh, sorry. But I just can't do it.
I don't think you understand. I want you to write that letter.
Excuse me?
I said I want you to write the letter.
Are you threatening me?
What threatening?
But later on, Jeannie does go over to the Soprano home and tells Carmela that Joan did write the recommendation letter for Meadow. When Carmela asks if she has a copy of the letter, Jeannie says she'll get one, no problem. So, about that letter. Did Joan Cusamano actually write it? So let's look at the scenarios. 1, Joan did write the recommendation letter. And if she did write it, then Jeannie's telling the truth, and she'll get Carmela a copy. Scenario 2, Joan didn't write the recommendation letter, but why would we assume that Jeannie would lie? If this is the case, that she didn't write the recommendation letter, what happens to the copy that Carmela's looking for? Well, perhaps when Meadow told Carmela to butt out of her business and leave her and her stuff alone.
It's my room, and if I want it like that, that's the way I want it.
Your room is in my house.
Well, I won't be here for long. I'm 18 years old. I'm going to be going to college soon. I can take care of myself, so just bug out, okay?
Because she's an adult, she can take care of herself. Maybe Carmela took that to heart. And that's what she meant when she really looked Meadow in the eye and said, you know what? You're right. You can take care of yourself.
You know what? You're right. You are right. You can take care of yourself.
Thank you.
If that's the case, maybe Carmela never ended up following up with Jeannie.
You're going to be going off all on your own to a wonderful college. What right do I have to interfere?
Plus, at the end of the day, as a last resort, the Cusamanos could always forge something or pretend and say, yep, we sent it. Because if Joan had a reputation to protect, as she said, why would she then change her mind and write it? Especially if she wasn't frightened by the Soprano family, but she just didn't like them. She didn't want gangsters on the Georgetown campus. It would seem most likely that she wouldn't write it. Or did Joan really get scared? Did Jeannie get scared? Did she get even more scared after visiting Carmela and having Carmela ask for the copy?
Do you have a copy?
No, but I'll get you one. No problem.
Thank you so much. Jean, you are a wonderful friend. Mwah.
Did I tell you how impressed Joan was with Meadow's transcripts?
You did, thank you.
Meadow also didn't get admitted to Georgetown, so that may be another sign pointing to no, as in pointing to Joan not writing the letter. Not that a recommendation letter means everything, but considering how Meadow did get admitted to many prestigious universities, along with Joan's alleged high status with the university, it does make you wonder.
Guess what? I got my answers from colleges today.
Well, what about that other place, Georgetown?
Waitlist.
Ugh. You don't know them anything.
I might as well tell you. I decided on Columbia.
It's interesting how Meadow ends up going to a school where she originally got waitlisted,
Waitlist, Columbia.
Columbia. It's possible that Georgetown may have worked out after all, unless she ended up getting denied anyway.
Nothing. They're different.
Regarding the overall college admissions process, Carmela expresses her frustration to Tony about Meadow's prospects by saying that admission to colleges these days is dependent on who you know or how many buildings you get your name on. It's all about who you know, huh? Makes me think of the mafia. Does Carmela see any connection?
Really, Jean, if there is any way you could find your way to helping me out here.
Maybe you saw an opportunity in me and you just took what you needed.
So as I was making this video about the recommendation letter, I started thinking about even more scenes that I felt could be sort of tied back to this whole concept of doing favors or utilizing your connections to get access to something.
Italy was relieved today upon learning that the country's high court had ruled that influence peddling is not a crime.
Mr. Wegler didn't appreciate it when he thought Carmela was trying to pressure him to give AJ special treatment or extra help.
He was referring to raccomandazione, the Italian custom of seeking special treatment from people in power.
But to her, it was surprising that someone would be so offended by that.
How could asking someone you're with for help be using them? That's what people do.
Call me naive, but in this day and age, I don't really think your husband, if he found out, is going to break his son's teacher's legs.
It's all who you know or how many buildings you give.
As it turns out, Carmela doesn't refrain from getting involved or intervening in Meadow's college and academic career. As we see the following season, she wants to protect Meadow by giving $50,000 to the school. Oh, and part of that protection is getting their name on the building.
I told him to put us down for the 50,000.
All in all, I know that we've got bigger things to talk about than Joan Cusamano's ass or Joan Cusamano's recommendation letters, but I figured why not. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Did Joan write the recommendation letter for Meadow or no? I'd love to hear from you as always.